Opening scenes feature Chef Paul, a top chef in Thailand, leading the hunger team. Their meals are designed to excite the appetite, and rich clients cannot resist eating everything they serve. The scene then shifts to a family-run restaurant serving fried noodles. The restaurant uses recipes passed down through generations. It is now managed by a young woman named Aoi. At that time, a customer named Tone gives Aoi a hunger business card and invites her to work there. Aoi asks her friends for their opinion. They are very surprised and consider this a golden opportunity for Aoi to develop her cooking skills and become a famous chef like Paul. Chef Paul is indeed the top chef in Thailand. Many VIPs invite him to taste his dishes. It is no wonder that anyone wanting to hire Chef Paul must book in advance and pay an extraordinary price. The next day, Tone comes to pick up Aoi and takes her to the hunger restaurant. The kitchen looks spotless and organized, leaving Aoi amazed. That day, before joining the hunger team, Aoi must take a test. Chef Paul pairs her with a culinary school graduate to make a simple dish, fried rice. Aoi's rival feels arrogant and considers the test too easy. The fried rice made by both is very different. Her rival uses premium ingredients, while Aoi uses leftover rice, 2 eggs, and some seasonings. After the dishes are cooked, Chef Paul evaluates them. Without tasting, he immediately tells Aoi's rival to go home because Aoi is the one who passed. After that, Aoi officially joins the hunger team. She is asked to freshen up and change into a chef's jacket labeled Hunger. Tone introduces her to all team members, each with different tasks. Aoi will receive her own responsibilities, though for now, Tone assumes she will work as an assistant chef equal to himself. Chef Paul then gathers the team and announces that in a few days, they will be invited to cook for the birthday of a high-ranking official. They plan to serve a meat and blood-themed dish, using top-quality meat. Chef Paul assigns Aoi as the person in charge. The meat must be thinly sliced and cooked well done. Before that, Chef Paul asks Aoi to slice the meat. Aoi, inexperienced with premium ingredients, struggles. She fails repeatedly and is scolded by Chef Paul. She is then tested on cooking Wagyu beef. As before, she keeps making mistakes because everything must meet Chef Paul's standards. Finally, he orders her to keep practicing. Chef Paul warns that if Aoi gives up by the next morning, she will lose the chance to become someone extraordinary. Aoi considers leaving out of frustration, but she changes her mind and returns to the kitchen. She is now determined to practice until she can cook A5 Wagyu beef well done. The next day, the hunger team finds Aoi sleeping in the kitchen after a night of practice. Her hands are covered in splatters of oil and fire, showing how hard she worked. Her effort is not in vain. She finally manages to cook the meat exactly as Chef Paul wants. The day of the event arrives. The audience includes important figures in Thailand, including culinary entrepreneur TOS, who has long wanted to sponsor Hunger, but Chef Paul always refuses. During the event, Aoi is asked to cook A5 Wagyu beef in front of all guests. People are amazed by her skills, and the dish is so delicious that guests lick their plates. Impressed, TOS immediately gives Aoi his business card. From that day, Aoi is assigned to accompany Tone in sourcing the best ingredients. Chef Paul always purchases the finest quality ingredients, no matter the cost. For him, only the best ingredients can produce truly delicious dishes. The next day, the hunger team prepares for their next event. Everyone is busy, but Aoi is not assigned any tasks. When she asks Chef Paul, she is instead told to wash dishes, mop the floor, and take out the trash. Aoi refuses and protests. Chef Paul explains that every member follows his orders. Just because Aoi received praise from the guests yesterday does not make her more important. He tests Aoi's chopping speed against a team member. During the test, Aoi is injured, proving she is not yet ready. At home, Aoi tries cooking steak for her family. When tasted, her family admits they do not like it. They prefer the fried noodles made by their father. Aoi realizes that food can reflect social inequality. Poor people cook to survive, while wealthy people cook to satisfy their desires with high-quality dishes. An incident occurs in the kitchen. Nak, a member of the hunger team, is caught smoking while cooking. Chef Paul is furious because a cigarette could fall into the food. He also announces that a thief has stolen premium meat. If the culprit does not confess, the police will be involved. Eventually, a longtime team member admits he took the meat because he wanted to taste the dishes enjoyed by the rich. Chef Paul immediately fires him. Soon after, the next invitation arrives. This time, the hunger team is to cook for a family. The family shows strange expressions as they taste the hunger team's dishes. Then, when Tone was about to deliver the soup, Chef Paul suddenly threw it away because there was a prawn in it. Prawns are one of the child's allergens, so even a single spoonful could be fatal. As a result, Chef Paul quickly cooked a replacement soup using tap water and improvised ingredients. Since then, Aoi felt something strange about Chef Paul's behavior. After finishing the job, Chef Paul got angry at all his team members and scolded them harshly. It turned out that the person who put the prawn in the soup was the chef's assistant, Dang. Chef Paul was furious with him, and suddenly Dang stabbed Chef Paul with a knife. Chef Paul, who was hospitalized, was then visited by Aoi. She brought a bowl of stir-fried noodles because Chef Paul refused to eat hospital food. Chef Paul then explained in detail why he became a chef and how it shaped his life. It all started when he was a child, while his mother worked as a maid in a wealthy family's house. That day, the family was eating something called caviar. Out of curiosity, Chef Paul stole a small jar of caviar to try it. Unfortunately, he was caught, and the employer's son shouted at him, calling him a thief. The jar of caviar fell and broke. The employer was furious and cut his mother's salary for several months. While cleaning the scattered caviar, Chef Paul tasted it himself and found it unpleasant. From that moment, he was determined to become a chef so that wealthy people would go to any lengths to try his cooking and admire his skills. When she got home, Aoi heard that her father had been taken to the hospital due to exhaustion from working at the restaurant. This made Aoi feel guilty because she could no longer help him since working at hunger. At the hospital, Aoi saw news about a family that had previously invited the hunger team. They reportedly committed suicide due to debt. This confused Aoi even more because if the problem was financial, why would they invite the hunger team when the money could have been used to pay off their debts? This showed how powerful Chef Paul's influence was in the culinary world, making people willing to do anything to taste his cooking. Aoi's suspicion grew when Chef Paul didn't hesitate to cook a hornbill, a protected species, further revealing his extreme ambition. Unable to tolerate Chef Paul's ambition, Tone and Aoi decided to quit hunger. After quitting, Aoi needed another income to cover her father's hospital bills. She remembered TOS, who had previously given her a business card. When TOS saw Aoi, he greeted her warmly and immediately invested in her by opening a luxurious restaurant. As head chef, Aoi was required to create a signature dish. With help from several people, she continued to innovate until she could craft dishes according to her vision and personal style. Unexpectedly, Aoi's menu gained attention from various groups. She became very famous, with many people lining up to try her food. Eventually, her team was invited by one of Thailand's top celebrities, Milky. Unexpectedly, at the event, Aoi's team was paired with Chef Paul's team. Dish after dish from both chefs delighted the guests. Aoi's team prepared meals with meaning and love, while Chef Paul presented his usual bold and dirty-themed creations. Chef Paul told Aoi that she could never beat him. As a famous chef, people had high expectations and believed all his dishes would be excellent, placing immense pressure on him to always perform. In the middle of the event, police suddenly arrived and arrested Chef Paul. He was arrested because Tone had spread a video showing him cooking the hornbill, with to support. What Aoi witnessed showed that becoming someone extraordinary often requires great personal sacrifices and difficult choices. Aoi also realized that her ambition to compete with Chef Paul had cost her time with her supportive family. She didn't want to end up like Chef Paul, so she decided to go home and run her family's local stir-fried noodle restaurant again, and the film ended peacefully. Indeed, achieving dreams often requires sacrifices. Celebrities must give up their personal lives for public attention, losing privacy. Similarly, aspiring famous chefs must constantly satisfy customers and innovate, sometimes even resorting to illegal actions to achieve their ambitions, and with that, the story ends here.